Hi, this is David Self. This is my presentation for EDL 856 Module 16, the case study entitled Parental Apathy. I'll be supporting my case study with the standards ISTE 2E and MOSS 4B. Category 1A asks, what do I know after reading the case study? Well, the first thing I would like to point out is, even though right now we currently see that there is a lack of parental involvement in this school, there appears to have been some successful parent groups and associations in the past. We have a principal that is not real overly excited about increasing parental involvement, but we do see that he is open to the idea by allowing the assistant principal to schedule a meeting to explore this idea. Currently, we have a culture of parental apathy and non-involvement. We do have a new assistant principal at the school who sees a need and recognizes the importance of parental involvement and kind of takes on this idea and this new initiative to increase this. Category 1B asks, what else do I need to know from the case study? And one thing I would want to know right up front is what has happened in the past that has caused the past parent groups to stop functioning within the school community. What transpired before that caused those groups to cease to exist? Next, I would also need to know, are there currently families or teachers that are still in the school community that were part of these past groups and they're still part of the community now? I would also like to know if there were groups, community groups, businesses, or organizations from outside the school that participated in these groups. And I would also like to need to know if the current teachers and staff of this school will support a parental group or association, a newly formed one anyway. Category 1C asks me to identify the problem, and the obvious problem here is we have a lack of parental involvement in this school community. Next, we have a principal who's currently not engaging or taking steps to improve the parent and school relationship. And one of our external publics, our parents, are completely disengaged, and this is evident from the low attendance at the meeting scheduled by the assistant principal. Category 2A, ask my plan of action. My first plan of action would be, I would go ahead and work with the meeting attendees that showed up for that first meeting. The case study ends by suggesting that the principal and assistant principal were even discussing having this meeting because there were only 8 people there. But yeah, you need to go ahead and have this meeting. You need to use this group to form this parental advisory committee and just make it clear that the goal is ultimately to increase parental involvement in the school. Second, in my plan of action would be to determine how long it's been since there were active PTAs and PTOs in the school. I would like to know how many families were involved. You know, it's one of those situations where you hear all the time the idea that 10% of the people do 90% of the work. I would like to know if that was the situation. Maybe it was just a small core group of families and their kids have graduated and moved on, so those families are no longer involved. Or did something happen, as I talked about earlier? And of course, were there other community groups or non-members in the group? That's the second thing that needs to be found out. Next, my plan of action, I would survey the current teachers and staff within the building to determine their interest in participating in a parental teacher group. I would contact any of those families or community members that were involved in the past, even if they're not currently in the school community because of they have no children there, but just to find out what transpired or what happened and why they felt like the group fell apart. I also think the assistant principal at this point should go ahead and volunteer to take this on wholeheartedly, to take sole leadership of establishing this group and seeing it through. Category 2B, what strategies do I propose to see my plan of action take place? The first thing I would do is schedule a second meeting. At the first meeting, schedule the second one. Get in touch with those parents who are there. Let them know that you need them to network, to reach out to their kids' friends, parents, to just try to increase attendance at this second meeting. I think you need to make sure that I would go ahead and set clear and concise goals for this next meeting, that we are going to have a meeting and the ultimate goal is to establish an increased parental involvement in our school. I think the second thing you need to do that I would do is send out a school-wide email to survey and engage the current faculty and staff. I think that a lot of times new teachers, I would really target new teachers. They will a lot of times be excited, eager to get involved, and be a part of this new environment they're in. This also promotes distributed leadership within staff and allows them to get involved in the school community even more. I think you need to continue. We would also need to continue communicating with parents. Maybe we need to look at a different way of communicating with our parents. It doesn't say really, it's not really clear in the case study. It sounds like to me they probably sent flyers home with kids announcing this parent meeting, and that was low attended. And I think we need to look at different ways. Maybe it's emails, phone calls, even house visits, whatever it might be. Just increasing, sending out newsletters, just a different way to reach out to more people. And obviously, the next strategy would be to continue communicating with the principal, keeping him involved, letting him know the progress and how this new group is moving forward. Category 3 asks me to resolve the issues. How would my plan resolve the issues? And Part A asks, what is best for the students? By increasing parental involvement in the school, this just increases parental buy-in to the school's mission and vision. When the parents have bought into the school mission, it reinforces that school mission at home. By getting more teachers and staff involved, this just rebuilds that relationship and strengthens the relationship between their students, families, and the school. Also, by including community members from outside, if we get them involved in this newly formed group, they can provide additional resources for the school, the students, and the families. And also, this can provide the school as a resource for the community. Category 3, Part B, resolving the issue, asked me to provide examples from the case. The assistant principal's involvement and increasing teacher and staff involvement, this could relieve the principal of some added duties and stress that he may be experiencing. We don't really know what's going on as to why the principal is not real keen on the idea of increasing parental involvement, but obviously he has some preconceived notion and preconceived ideas that it won't be successful. And this could just be based on his past experiences. By giving responsibilities to the assistant principal and other staff, this increases the leadership capacity of the school, and this also promotes experience to those involved staff members and creates future leaders for the school in this district. Category 4 asked me to identify what I was thinking, feeling, and valuing as I read through this case study. And when I think about what I was thinking, the first thing was maybe this principal is not suited to lead a parent group. Maybe he's really good at, I was thinking that maybe he's really good at logistics, budgeting, managing the school day, those kind of things. But maybe he's just not a people person. Maybe he's not cut out to be, that's just not one of his strong traits. And again, maybe he has some preconceived notions based on past experiences. What I was feeling as I was looking through this case study is I was feeling that maybe these parents aren't used to being real involved, and that's become part of the school culture. And changing the school culture is going to take some time. I don't think it's going to be an overnight success. I think it's going to be a long, hard road with a lot of speed bumps. And what was I valuing as I read through this case study? Even though this principal was kind of disengaged and kind of happy with the way things are, I think I appreciated the fact and valued the fact that he saw there was a need. He recognizes there's a need for stronger parental involvement. And I think he appreciates the assistant principal's initiative in taking on this task. Category 4, unresolved issues. When I think about unresolved issues, the first question I would ask that I think I look at is, will he continue to show support to this assistant principal as she takes on this initiative? Or will he regress back to his former way of thinking as soon as maybe there's a step backwards? Because I don't think it's, like I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be a smooth, easy road to bring in this group and change the school culture. As soon as that happens, he might regress. And I think that's an issue that remains unresolved. The second one is, Will the current school staff support this new assistant principal trying to increase parental involvement, or are they happy to continue with the way things are? And that can be a challenge as well. That remains unresolved. Next, will the parents of the school who are interested have the determination to be able to commit to a long-term goal and see it through? They've been involved in this culture the way it is for a while, and that can be hard to break that habit. And then I look at another unresolved issue for me I would like to know about and think about is how long will this assistant principal be at this school? I know a lot of time in my district, assistant principals get moved around a lot, and will she be there long enough to see this parental involvement increase and become a strong part of the community? And second of all, the last thing I would ask is, are there community groups and members who are interested in partnering with this school? That remains unresolved as well. Category 5, Standard 7 Reflection. Component number 1 asks, how does my plan promote the academic success of every student? By forming a parental advisory group, this could determine the interest in establishing a long-term future PTA or PTO, and this increases parental involvement, which we know is essential to a successful school community. By involving parents in networking, this increases involvement, gets more people to attend the meetings, getting them to buy into the school mission and be involved. And by contacting community members who could have been involved in the past, we could rebuild a relationship that's been broken and partnerships with the school. This would provide more resources to promote individual academic success and involvement with the community for our students. Component 2 asks me, how does my plan promote the personal well-being of every student? By having more staff and teachers involved in this new group, this will just build stronger relationships between the students, their families, and the school, and this strengthens the school-community relationship. Also, by forming a parental group, this provides support to the school, which in turn supports student well-being. I know in my school, a lot of times our parental group volunteers at the school. They assist teachers with some of the tasks that they may not have time to do. Maybe it's making copies, helping organize a field trip, filing paperwork, whatever that might be. We also offer a program called Parents as Teachers, which allows parents to come in, and it's almost like a tutoring program to help the parents to help their students in the home environment outside the school. And component 3 asks, how does my plan promote communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school community? By involving businesses, organizations, and other community groups, this creates a two-way relationship between the school and the community. Not only is the community supporting the school, but the school can support the community. And it also reconnects with past community partners and reestablishes the school and the community relationship, therefore giving the community a voice in school decisions and supporting student success and the school's mission. Again, this is David Self. This is my presentation for the case study for EDL 856 Module 16. Thanks for watching.